darlings. How are you doing today, darlings? How are you? Okay, Sharice Johnson Moore here. All right, it is time. It's time for Entrepreneur Corners. And I wanted to say it is an honor and a privilege to be in the land of the living. Okay? Be in the land of the living. It is so important, right? And today our topic for Entrepreneur Corners is knowledge is power. Knowledge is power. For our topic for today, you know, I, this is a lesson my grandfather tried to teach me many, many, many years ago, and I didn't believe in it at the time, and but I want to let y'all know that yes, knowledge is power. The more knowledge you gain, the more exposure you give your mind, the more in depth your mind becomes. It becomes curious. It becomes um clutter free, and because I believe that is so much so that it is very understandable that sometimes we have to. That's you know got to get all. My granddaddy used to say, knowledge is something that they can't take away from you. Get an education, keep getting your education, get it, keep it, go after it, do what you need to do to have it, and um, it's very important for that us as entrepreneurs, we got to keep learning new stuff, keep learning new things, new procedures, new uh all the things that uh go with you know that go with the career path as being an entrepreneur that you are doing, right? And it's more than just saying, okay, how can I say this? Okay. I when I first started writing my book, this book in 2015, right? I first started writing this book here. I didn't know nothing about being on Arkham, right? I didn't know nothing, child, nothing. And I had did my research. I had come across, how I would say my research started with pricing the different publishing companies of self-published authors. Okay, I'm gonna say it like that. Self-published. And what was the what and me being a self-published author, how much would it cost me versus being a traditional author, right? And the first list I looked at was the pricing list of a traditional publisher to publish my book, what was it? Simon and Schuster. Simon and Schuster. It was other companies and things like that I looked up and investigated. I'm an avid researcher. I love to do my research. I love to find things out. I always got a inquisitive mind, right? So the first thing that I did was to find out how much someone was going to charge me to um to publish my book. And I looked at all these prices and I was like, well, what do you get with $15,000? What do you get with $20,000? It was like different prices, different prices. Then they had different things that they did at these price ranges. And um it was an eye opener for me. It was an eye opener as far as um going to another level when it came to spending money on that level. Okay, I'm gonna say it like spending money on that level took my mind to a whole nother atmosphere of just the concept of thinking about the concept of just thinking about how much money, I'm gonna say this, for a person that knew grandma sat down and taught me the basics about how to pay bills and stuff, right? Okay, I had that concept down pat. But I never got I never understood if you're taught on a certain level, I'll say this. If you're taught on a certain level, and that's the only level you will know, the only level that you know of. You will never think outside of the atmosphere of thinking more than, okay, you'll never think of more of thinking about spending $10,000 for anything. A person on certain level, you have to do a serious mind adjustment of thinking of money or spending money on that level. Because if you're not thinking on that level, it's gonna go fly over your head, right? But my thing was, I had to do some mind adjustments. Okay. Now I could see myself. I'm gonna give y'all this scenario. When I was out there being a stripper, I could make 2 grand a week, right? I can make that a week. I've gone to that level. I've even gone to the level of making that in one day. I could see that level of me, man. I could make 2 grand a day. It depends on the area where you lived at. Okay, depends. And they always say work smarter, not harder. And the thing is that if you're not accustomed to making money on a certain, if you're not used to making money on a certain level, you're not going to understand spending money on that level. You're not. You'll think it's, oh well, or you'll spend it and you really have no concept of how valuable that whatever you spend it on. Okay. And the thing is that sometimes you don't. Sometimes in our learning process, we are not, how can I say it? We block our own selves from gaining the knowledge of how to acquire money at that level. I say $10,000, $15,000 for one class, a course, or this. I started doing research about how to create a company, and went around and did some research and found out that there were certain people in that entrepreneurial space that would charge somebody $10,000 to teach them in a private class, or teach them in that aspect of $10,000 or 15 or 20 or 25,000 or even 30 or 40 or 50,000. I even, I ran across people that was charging them prices, and I never wrapped my I wasn't wrapping my mind around that. It took me some time to wrap my mind around that. Plus, with me being a researcher, I'm always investigating and stuff like that. And then I realized it takes a lot to publish a book. It takes a lot. It takes you, if you get this company, this $10,000, $15,000 for this book. Look at all the stuff that they're gonna do for you, but think of it as you're paying somebody to do that up front, right? You're paying somebody to do, say, a person, a person like me didn't understand spending money on $15,000 level, right? Spending it, get this service, all right, and I had to. I went to an old fashioned way of learning how to spend that kind of money, because I did my research and I didn't have that kind of money at the time. I didn't have that money at the time, so I did it the long way. I went and got my went and found my own graphic arts designer. I found my own proofread editor. I went and found my own you know, formatter. I did everything and everything I needed for my book. I typed this whole manuscript by myself. I went, did the research on how you format a book, how you format this, how you have to do certain things in the book. How do I want the book to look? How do I want the writing to look? I did all that, right? I even went to the extent say, okay, I gotta get this book copyrighted. Okay, so the book is copyrighted. Okay, I did that process. I did everything myself, but it gave me an experience of learning. Oh, okay. So is this what independent, self-published authors, publishers do? It gave me another eye opener. I was like, okay, this is what they do. Okay, so if you're a publisher, but you're not, you got your own publishing company. This is the concept that you go about. Okay, you go about. Okay, well, we're gonna, you go into contract. That's how I learned about contracting with people about the services that they were gonna provide me when it came to um, if I went with a publishing company. If I went with traditional, well, all right, they would send me contracts because I would inquire, right? And everything when you learn hands on like that, it teaches you. And I learned a bit. I learned that my way. Everybody don't learn like it. No one learns the same. I'm gonna say it like that. So what you know, I learned. I love learning new things. So what have you? I'm gonna ask. What have you learned lately that could change your life? What have you learned lately? What knowledge that could change your life? Right. That's just like when I went to before 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 I got into being an author and a minister, and before I got all this other stuff, right? I had to go to school for certified nursing assistant. Okay. And that was an experience, all right, you gotta learn how to get the patients out the bed, you gotta learn how to get the patient, you gotta make sure the patient don't fall out the bed while you rolling, chain the bed while they're in it, things like that was, and I'm always an avid learner. So I'm learning I now have that understanding that knowledge is power. When you know how to do something, it gives you the power to control what you do with it. It gives you that power. Say, okay, well, I learned how to write my book. Now I can go and teach other people. Since I got this knowledge, I can go teach other people that want to write their books how to write their books. How to teach them how to become best-selling authors, how to do all these things, and um and teach them how not to get scammed by these people that saying that they know how to do these things. They really don't. You find a lot. I'll tell you something. When you take the time out to find out the knowledge for yourself and stop being lazy about you learning it instead of throwing it out. Hey, I got this idea. Oh yeah, can you do this for me? Be like, well, I can lead you to the water, but I can't make you drink it. Okay. Learn stuff for yourself. Knowledge is there for everyone to learn. And when you take out the time to learn it for yourself, it is so much easier for you to be in control of people not getting over on you, people not scamming you, people not just gonna say anything to you and think you know, all right, well, I'm gonna do this, do this, do this. Okay, and then you sitting there looking like mud on your face because this person done took your money and you didn't know no better. You didn't know because you didn't do the research. That you could have done the research, saved your money, and you would have been better off. So that's why I say knowledge is power. It's like now it has become very rampant in the world that the people that know, I'm gonna give you this example. I give you this other example. I got tired of them pesky people coming into my Facebook page, pretending to be my friend. And then they would turn around and say, oh, did you hear? I'm doing good. Did you hear my news? Or did you hear the good news? Or I got some money. And da da da. And if you know, and then it goes into this, oh, I got some money. All you need to do is get in contact with the agent and then this and then, and then send them some money and then send you this. And I'm sitting like, okay, I ain't paid no mind at first, right? I did not. And then it got to the point that the stuff just got worse and worse and worse. It seemed like it's real rampant on Facebook. Okay, and my thing is, I got so peed off. I got so teed off. I got so, so irritated about it. I said, I'm gonna go learn this for myself. So I decided to sign up for a grant writing class, which I'm doing right now. I just signed up for this class. Just signed up for the class on Friday. Signed up for the class on Friday. Started classes Friday. Soon as I paid my money, bam, that's it. Okay. Paid my money and I got my modules. If y'all seen that post, that was that post on my Facebook page. It was saying I just signed up for grant writing class, right? Because it how could I say this? I am the type of person where I don't want nobody to take my money. Just to sell me a pipe dream to, just ain't gonna tell me anything and think I'm gonna believe it. Okay? Because that's how, when you have the knowledge, the scammers can't use you. The scammers can't come into your pay. Okay, hey, I'm such and such. Okay. Well, have you heard, that I was okay, I've heard, but tell me more about now. I've gotten to the point where I don't even when they look, I get to a point where now when they come into my inbox and I friend them and I tell them what I do because I have a nice little intro message for them. And then they come in, oh girl, I'm good, I'm fine. When they start with that, have you heard? I automatically block them because I am the type of person, well, I like to have the knowledge for myself. I'd rather have that knowledge for myself than someone come to try to scam me. Look, I'm already in this class. Sometimes I tell them I'm already learning and stuff. That's how some people are. But knowledge is power. Go back to school, get your degrees, get your licenses, get your certifications, get everything that you need. I don't know who I'm speaking to this to, but get your stuff. Get it while it's good. And if anybody want to take a grant writing class, please go do so. Because there are over 500 grants that you do not have to pay back. That's why I'm saying knowledge is power. I didn't know it was that many grants. I didn't know it was that many grants to apply for and stuff like that. And it's a plethora. And it's like, wow. Like my mind is just blown away with this class. And this class is phenomenal. This class is phenomenal, right? And it has opened my eyes to really wanting to really sit down and get to know, to really get the understanding of learn something new. It's time for me to learn something new. And I already know I write books. I already know how to do this. I had to turn around. Let me tell you, I had to learn how to use this application here. I'm always constantly learning. And the thing is, we can't stop learning because it could save us a lot of money when we learn these things, and we don't have to pay all these people. The reason I pay all these people, pay out this out the yin yang to use technology when you can sit, take a class, watch the videos, because that's how I had to do when I learned this StreamYard app. I sat and watched the videos that they have that goes with this app on YouTube. Okay, now YouTube is a plethora of information, right? I learned how to use the hook of my mic. I learned how to use my microphone, my headphones, my boxes, my I learned how to use different applications. For I had to learn. I had to constantly learn. Constantly they learn. And now I'm in the process of learning about these grants. Grants where the government has, or special, or government, or businesses have a way of giving away their money, and you ain't gotta pay them back. Okay. So it's a process, but it's worth it. Okay, it's a process, but it's worth it. Okay. And then another thing, that you don't let nobody just tell you anything. You know, don't. I've gotten to the point where I have gotten to the point where I'm very skeptical about what people tell me, because I have been got before. I ain't gonna sit here and lie. I've been got before, and it's not fun. It's not nothing. It's not nothing joyous about you spending hundreds and hundreds of dollars on something and you never get it, and you never, or they give you something and it don't be everything what they said it was gonna be. Okay, learn these things for yourself. Okay. I want to say thank you for coming out, for Entrepreneurial Corner. Okay, you don't have this book, it's something wrong. Okay, I'm gonna explain. This is an autobiography, inspirational. It is about my life, and I want to share it with you, with those that may have gone through trauma, through some issues that you may have had in your life, or you still working on you, and you need a little guidance. So get my book, Coming to Loving Yourself, this one, and you may get the workbook as well, right? You may get the workbook as well. The workbook goes very, very good with this. Workbook takes you from your childhood all the way until adulthood, and it also has a section in it about your future you. What does your future you look like? What do you want to do with your future you? What do you want to do in your future? So many times we get bogged down by stuff in our lives that we don't know the first place to start. We don't know the first place to start after maybe drug addiction or abuse, sexual, mental, physical abuse. We may not know where to start, but this book will guide you. This workbook will guide you through the steps to get back to the life that you was once, that you cherished and you adored, and you really get back to that person that you loved, to that life that you loved, where you were peaceful, you was happiness, it was joy, it was and ain't nothing wrong with working through your issues. Let me tell you something. I still go to my therapist. Okay, so if you need some therapy, I recommend that to anybody. Okay, I want to say thank you so much for coming in to Entrepreneurial Corners. I have a ticker taper at the bottom of the screen that states, if you are an entrepreneur and you want to advertise on my channel, you can. I have a number. My email is there. And you can reach me for more details if you would like to advertise or be a special guest on Entrepreneur Corners. I love you, and I want to say thank you, everyone, for coming in to view Entrepreneur Corners. It has been my honor and a privilege to bring you this show every Sunday at 3 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And I love you, and y'all have a nice day. Bye, babies.